Okay, in summary, Matt and I are just going to casually talk about the offer. So now you have a fully executed, you have a signed, not fully executed, purchase agreement by your buyer. You take it, PDF format, it should be signed electronically to keep everything clean. It doesn't mean it has to be. It could be signed with a wet signature. You attach it to the email to the listing agent. You attach what I would encourage you to do, then the pre-approval or proof of funds, and a copy of the MLS sheet. The MLS sheet is very important, and we can get into that in a little bit, but it's important. And I would attach the MLS sheet. Why? Because the MLS sheet, on the day that you write the offer, the day that you print the MLS sheet, could say refrigerator included. And then 3 days, then they get your offer, and the agent runs into the MLS and pulls out that the fridge is included. And then all of a sudden, you don't have proof that it was included when you wrote the offer. So something that I'm going to say, Matt, what I think agents have to understand when they are filling this out is that this is a legally binding agreement that can be enforced by the courts, by the judicial system, if that's the right term, by the courts, by attorneys and judges. Okay, so at some level, we are, at the very least, maybe not practicing, but we are deciphering, we are reading law. Okay, so it's not just fill in the blanks. Something I like to mention often at Galena Group Real Estate is that we are not just realtors. Realtors don't read anything. They fill in the blanks, which is why they've made this so easy for us. They don't read any of the additional terms. They don't read any of the small print, and they send it out. Real estate agents read it all, and they understand what they're asking their clients to sign.
There's something that I learned in the beginning of my career that really hit hard is sometimes you'll fill this all out correctly. You'll authenticate, digital, send it to your clients. They're going to review it. They're going to read it, review it, sign it. They'll trust you. They'll sign it, or they'll tell you to make any changes. And that's all done remotely. You're not in front of your client. They sign it. You're good to go. Like Josh said, you PDF form, put it into an email. Getting the MLS sheet, by the way, if you don't know how to, press print, save as PDF. Now you have a PDF printout of the MLS sheet. You attach all that with the pre-approval proof of funds, you send it out. But here's what's important. If you don't read this thoroughly and understand it, it's hard to explain it to your client in layman terms because they don't want to go word for word. And what you need to do is be able to read it upside down. So take the RPA and any document, by the way, turn it around because your client will be facing you. They're reading it correctly, you're reading it upside down. If when they ask you a question in person about section B on page 2 and you have to take that form and turn it around to read it, you don't know your craft very well.
Well, think how bad that looks, Matt. When you're like this and someone goes, "What about B?" and you go,
exactly. You want to be able to upside down know this document. So when they say, "What about section B, appraisal contingency?" You look down and say, "Yeah, you see here, right here, appraisal contingency. The amount of days that we're going to choose right here is the amount of days you're protected for appraisal reasons." And you want to be able to do that for every single section in this RPA. Know it upside down.
Really good point there, Matt. What else can we say on this? This is your bread and butter. This is how you get paid. Knowing this stuff is how you get paid, period. So
make sure they initial every single bottom of every page. It needs to be buyer's initial on the right line, the buyer line. Make sure they initial for mediation. Make sure they sign in the right spots. And always double and triple check your math and double and check that every single initial is where it needs to be before you send it out. Because the worst thing you want to do, the last thing you want to do is have to send an offer back to your client again and say, "Please fill this out because I messed up."
And how long should it take them to fill this out once they know what they're doing?
Once you know what you're doing, you can build a template, and it takes me about 2 minutes.
Okay. So if this time it took you 30 minutes to fill it out, that's probably because it's your first time. Don't be overwhelmed by it. Don't be discouraged by it. In time, you can get very quick at filling these out. Even if you didn't have a template, I'd say this is a 10-minute process. As Matt just said, with a template, it could be a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So good luck. Go out there and crush the day. Thanks for taking the time to watch these videos.